a sinner, left my lover crying on the dance floor. I'm a sinner, I'm a sinner.
Welcome back to more Cabernet.
This equipment is not unlike what's in the doctor's study. What are our limits as researchers? Do they even exist? Purchase orders for Cabernet and meat. This one's for the vodka bar signed by Jurgis. Does this mean? I don't even want to think about it. I need to find a way to get inside. Somebody must have the key. This is it. Time to face the truth.
Go in. Thank you.
What did I say? What did I just say, Tamara? That's right. I said not to disturb me during my peak productive hours. The decrees won't publish themselves. Besides, Why, you aren't Tamara at all, are you? I suppose a welcome is in order. What brings you here, my dear?
What in God's name is happening here?
I beg your pardon? Oh, of course. You must mean my blood export system. I can see how it may appear a little jarring to an unprepared visitor.
A little.
A little jarring. People are being tortured and killed right outside this very door.
See, I wish more people expressed genuine curiosity before casting judgment. Isn't that what science is all about?
This isn't science. It's a bloodbath designed by a madman.
Lisa, I thought of you as a much more rational person, a contributor to society. As you know, I care deeply about my fellow man, my neighbors, those working so hard just to get by. During my early years in government, oh Lord, this takes me back. One of my responsibilities was to pay visits to officials in different provinces. I met people from all around the country, from all kinds of backgrounds and all sorts of trades. It didn't take me even 2 months to realize that everything was rotten, inside and out, chaotic, in complete disarray. Every little town was exactly the same. Hospitals shamefully understaffed, roads ridden with potholes, good people suffering in poverty and drowning in drink. And no one did anything about it. No one even cared. They were too busy lining their own pockets.
So what are you doing?
Police and most of my colleagues, all corrupt to the bone. Bureaucracy stopping any feeble attempts to take action. It made me boil with anger, Lisa. Livid. I swore to myself that once I rose up, I would get rid of the chaos that is our country. That I would turn it around. Help my good fellow citizens. Design a system.
And what system would that be?
Since I've become mayor, the town has improved, wouldn't you say? In only a few months, local businesses have received loans, roads have been fixed, willing people have jobs.
That may be, but at what cost?
Precisely. Everything in this universe has a cost. And that's exactly where the system comes in. You're a smart young lady. You must understand that money doesn't come out of nowhere. Say, a building needs to be fixed. You need to take the money out of the town's budget. But it's all been squandered or stolen by your predecessors. Ultimately, nothing gets done. Frustrating, isn't it? But what if there was a whole demographic of consumers in constant need of expensive liquid product?
Cabernet.
Exactly. I learned about the existence of vampires once I climbed high enough as a government official. It's not that big of a mystery as long as you have the right connections, you know. It's shocking that your species, some centuries old I might note, was sitting on a gold mine but had no clue how to adapt it to the modern world. It took me 5 minutes talking with the Countess to put 2 and 2 together. By producing Cabernet, she managed to make enough coin to run her estate, but she completely missed out on a bigger opportunity.
And what exactly is that opportunity?
The old crone drained using archaic techniques, her manor sales only offering space for a few. But you and I, Lisa, we know that we live in a burgeoning age of industry, of endless production possibilities.
You're a monster.
Moreover, she only made Cabernet from those of noble birth, foolishly thinking their blood was purer. But you and I, Lisa, we know of the equality of man, that deeds determine true worth. My operation quadrupled turnover by draining lawbreakers, the slothful, illegal foreigners. It uses the parasites of the earth to lift up society. Everybody wins, Lisa. You, me, the good townspeople, the deserving citizens of our country.
You're out of your mind. This is barbaric.
My system solves 2 problems at once. It disposes of those who seek to keep us in ruin, and it provides significant income to benefit the people. Unfortunately, the Countess managed to find out about my enterprise and threatened blackmail if I didn't cut her in. I didn't mean to bring it up, but if a certain someone didn't steal my private correspondence, I would have made a much better deal. All the profits would have gone into the town's budget, and our fellow citizens would be better off.
You're
But
evil.
like they say, water under the bridge. A good politician knows how to work within limitations. In any case, Miss Morozova, I do apologize. I bent your ear for far too long. I take it that you managed to find me all the way down here for a reason. How may I be of service?
You say that you only take the blood of parasites, but that isn't true. Your basement cells are filled with protesters, regular people whose only crime is wanting a better society, just like you claim to. How does that fit the system you described?
I can see your confusion. Those are terrorists, an aggressive and dangerous kind. They tried to shoot me at the rally. You saw it with your own eyes.
What if I told you that those people are innocent?
Whatever do you mean?
I discovered that the whole thing was set up by the Countess. She hired a marksman to provoke the chaos, clearly so that you would have more victims for production. These people meant no harm.
Orchestrated mayhem to manipulate the citizens? I won't stand for it. Countess Orlova and I will have a serious talk about this. Corruption, from my business partner no less, will not be tolerated. I'll tell you what, Lisa. I will set the protesters free as early as tomorrow. You have my word. Of course, those that were sent to the lower floors, I can't let them go. Sadly, my hands are tied here. They've seen too much. It goes without saying, of course, but no one can know about what happens down here. The system is not for everyone to comprehend. Some just have to reap the benefits of the machine without knowing how it works. So, what do you say?
Even if it's for the sake of the greater good, I just can't be a part of this. What's going on here has to stop.
Lisa, you're breaking my heart. Well, I'm truly sorry we couldn't make a deal. Before you go, I've always loved that old counting rhyme. Do you know it? How does it go again? Crescent came out of the fog, took a knife out of his pocket. I will cut and I will hit. Either way you will be it.
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh, you're up.
Where are all my things?
Mayor Skortsov ordered to lock you up, I'm afraid. All your property has been confiscated.
That bastard.
You're the first vampire I've guarded, you know? Fascinating stuff.
What an honor. My coffin. He must have ordered it to be brought here so that I don't fry in the morning. How long does he intend to keep me here?
By the sound of it, you're in for the long haul. Nothing personal, miss. Just doing my job.
It's full of fresh blood. This would last me a while, only I can't bear to drink it, knowing where it comes from. And the light will await you and me, await you and me.
Dragmir?
Dragomir.
In a cage yet again. Have you learned no lessons?
People tend to put lions in cages because they fear them.
That is the truth. You betrayed my trust once before. I do not hold it against you. While I rested, I hoped you would find your own path. Nonetheless, looking at your soul once more, I recognize that all this time I was wrong about you. I once gave you a chance when you were trapped, but instead of a fearsome beast, you became a mewling kitten.
What's wrong with cats?
If only you listened to me, you could have become the maker of history, the master of rulers, the forger of destinies. Instead, you will stay here forever, imprisoned by a mortal fool. Let this be a lesson to you. So much potential wasted. Pity.
Alright, bye, bitch.
Hello. We've met before, haven't we?
Couldn't say. I meet a lot of people in my line of work.
You used to guard the way to Savelli's office. Yes, exactly. My name's Lisa.
Luca?
So they've put you all the way down here now.
I've been promoted.
Right. Promoted, of course. How did you end up working here, if you don't mind me asking?
I've been working at Town Hall for decades, seen my share of mayors pass through.
And how does Savelli compare to the rest of them?
Well, at least he doesn't drink, doesn't steal. That's a first, I'll tell you. The town seems to flourish.
True, but what about all this? Hundreds of innocent people abducted and tortured.
Our people need a firm hand, you know? Besides, they say the people down here are no use to anybody. No offense.
None taken. So, how do you feel about the work?
I could do without the blood, if I'm honest. And the people's screams. I don't even want to think about that.
Then why do you keep doing it?
Money.
One day, I was notified that I was promoted. I was pleased. Could use an extra coin or two. They didn't tell me much. Just ordered me to go down the stairs.
And then what happened?
When I saw all this for the first time, I was horrified, of course, but once they bring you here, there's no way back. If I tell anyone what happens in this place, they'll just drag me back down. Only, I'll be on the other side of the bars. I've got a family that depends on me. I can't abandon them. I'm afraid this is my life now.
Fair enough.
I have to get out of here, and I think Luca might be able to help. If I can just make him trust me a little more, perhaps I can enchant him. Of course, there are always other ways. Say, Luca? How are you enjoying War and Peace?
Have you read it?
Of course. I'm a physician, and Tolstoy often reflects on the ethics of my trade, and upon life and death. A man can own nothing while he is afraid of death, and to those who don't fear her belongs everything.
Huh. So you're a literary type as well. That's quite refreshing.
He seems to have warmed up to me. I may be able to enchant and influence him now.
Lately, I only talk with people around here due to my shift hours. They aren't the most cultured bunch.
That must feel lonely.
I don't want to complain, but all they do in their spare time is play cards and drink. I'd like to talk about something a little more interesting.
I feel like we get along just fine, Luca.
I reckon so.
And the light will await you and me, await you and me. Listen to me, Luca. Here's what I'd like you to do. You will unlock the door and hand me the keys. I don't have much time before they start looking for me. I need to get out of here and tell everyone what's going on. He's dead. I'm sorry, brother. Rest in peace.
It's her! Shoot her now!
Damn it, that was just my luck. Alright, let's see how this goes. Where did I end?
I don't have much time. I need...
So I couldn't wash the nightgown.
It's her! Shoot her
How
now!
the fuck did you even see me?
I don't have much... I need to get out of here.
It's her! Shoot her now!
Maybe I need to go down, not up.
I don't have. I need.
So what am I doing?
It's her! Shoot her now!
I don't have. I need.
It's her! Shoot her now!
This is yeah, this is very weird.
I don't have much. I need.
Can't go downward, so I've got to just be able to do this faster. Oh.
It's her! Shoot her now!
Fuck you. I didn't realize bat would work.
Severely warned that she can turn invisible. Look out!
I made it out! I can't believe it. Wait, what is going on out there?
Our people have been enduring this tyranny for centuries. Ruler after ruler after ruler, the story is always the same. Oppression, poverty, unlawful imprisonment for true heroes, like my friend Gosha, who was apprehended last night with no notice or reason. And what does the ruling class get? Palaces, gold and power. Don't trust the honeyed speeches of the new officials. This is the same fairy tale we've been told, but it's all lies. And this is exactly why we can't trust the rotten government to execute our rights. It is time for a better future. It is time for everyone to unite. It is time to burn this place to kingdom come.
Wait!
What the hell?
There are people locked up down there. We need to save them.
Don't listen to her. When the tyranny stops today, the power goes to us, the people. No regrets. What? Why didn't it explode? Gosha, you bitch! You deactivated it, didn't you?
Get the terrorists now! Don't let him get away!
Did she say there are people still inside?
Quick! We need to help them!
Hurry up, everyone!
Good.
Hello? Ah, and a happy New Year's Eve to you too. Of course. I'll pass it on. Thank you. What? No, that won't do at all. You promised to come visit for the holidays. Don't you remember what we talked about 100 years or so back? You need to take care of yourself. Otherwise, you won't be able to help your patients. That's better. Please send my love to Marina. Speak soon. That man would work himself into the grave if he could. So glad he found himself such a nice partner. She makes him take a break once in a while. No more work tonight. I need to take my mind off it. Among other things. What's on TV?
So we will do chapter 8 next time. Bye, guys. Welcome back to chapter 8 of Cabernet.
I don't usually care much for awards, but this one feels special. It's the highest honor given by the Medical Academy for groundbreaking contributions to hematology. All that blood research the doctor and I used to do really paid off. Took decades to conduct, but luckily, I had no shortage of time. Had to use an alias, of course. Can't keep my real name on the records. Otherwise, over the decades, people would catch on. Especially now with the internet real. Anyway, the name may be fake, but the lives we helped save were very real. All of Anastasia's lessons weren't in vain. I'm glad I stuck with it. With a little practice, even the least gifted student would become decent in 100 years. I may have not taken it much further than that, but I'm proud to say that many a guest has been entertained with this particular instrument. An appraiser friend of mine recently looked at this painting. Turns out, over the decades it appreciated in value and is now worth a small fortune. Don't think I'll ever sell it, though. Means too much to me. I heard vampires get quite attached to their possessions as they get older. Guess I'm not immune to that. Petya's doll. Never had it in me to sell her. I think I took good care of her over the years. I still maintain that till this day it is the most beautiful doll the world has ever seen. Not counting Matilda, of course.
Nothing else I can look at?
Well, Oksana, only a few hours left till we get to celebrate the much-anticipated year 2000.
The new year is flying fast towards us, and what better present for the nation than the first annual address of the newly elected President Chernov?
Absolutely. It's been a tumultuous year for our country with the tragic, sudden passing of the former head of state. Luckily, Anatoly Chernov promptly took matters into his own hands, first as acting president and now as president-elect, after the results of the official emergency referendum.
That's right, Maxim. President Chernov has already demonstrated his firm and efficient governing style. In his short time in office, he's issued orders to reinforce the defensive military budget, and has also introduced a zero-tolerance policy towards illegal immigration.
Woo!
Finally, our people will have the much-desired stability back into their lives.
Can't wait to hear what he has to say at midnight.
Me too. Say, Oksana, what are you going to wish for when the clock strikes 12?
Well,
Fools.
What do you mean?
Looks like your ride is here and already causing a nuisance. That bastard woke me up from such a beautiful dream.
And what was the dream?
That all the annoying drivers in the world were dead, obviously.
Right. Of course.
Hey, are you all right?
Yeah.
You know you don't have to do this, right? Besides, it's not going anywhere. Why don't you come to the party with me tonight? Should be good fun. Arbin sent us a case of that delicious vintage Cabernet.
I admit, it's very tempting, but I'm sorry. I can't. I have to do this on my own, and I have to do it now. I don't know why, but I feel that tomorrow won't be the same.
Fine. You've always been a stubborn one.
Look who's talking.
You know you can call me any time, right? If you're in any trouble at all, just send a word and I'll tear them apart before they can say Happy New Year.
I bet you would, but I'll be fine, I promise. I'm pretty tough myself.
That you are.
I better get going before the car leaves without me.
Tell him if he wakes me up again, I'll curse his kin to the 5th generation.
I will. Love you, my queen.
Love you too, princess.
Okay, so that's who we ended up with. They're rather Roman.
Getting close now.
So, here I am again. Good to be back. It's hard to believe the last time I set foot here was around a century ago. Vampires generally aren't allowed to stay in the same place for more than 20 years, otherwise people start asking questions. Small towns have surprisingly long memories, but you can usually come back once it makes sense for you to pass as your own offspring. Nowadays, they call permission to stay a vampire visa. Higher society granted me one for this town decades ago, but I just haven't been ready until now. I'm not sure why, but I feel like I owe my old friends a visit in this new millennium. Even if it is at a cemetery.
Here we are. That will be 200 coins.
I thought I asked you to stop by the field.
Sorry, lady. No dice. Too much snow.
$200? That would be a ripoff even if you brought me to the right place. But you know that yourself, don't you? Here's 120, and that's with a tip included, considering it's New Year's Eve.
Fair enough. If you don't mind me asking, why did you choose to come here? This place is, well, it's a bit of a hole. No offense.
None taken. Trust me, I know. Honestly, I'm not so sure myself. I used to live here. I guess I just wanted to walk down memory lane.
Well, good luck with that. And hey, Happy New Year's Eve.
Happy upcoming New Year. This monument was built to commemorate the brave men and women who saved dozens of lives and prevented further disaster during the town hall tragedy. That night indeed became an important one in the town's history. Due to Yvonne's bomb being defused, the rescue operation was swift and simple, and those who weren't already dead or dying all made it back home. Without her, just like it says there, the outcome could have been a disaster for the ages. Since so many of the horrors beneath Town Hall were vampire-related. Shortly after the rescue operation, the higher society sent a hypnotist crew, a well-trained, powerful group of vampires. Of course, there wasn't any enchantment strong enough to completely remove those memories. However, they did manage to alter them enough to convince the humans that what they saw was all standard prison torture practices. Horrible and illegal, yes, but nothing beyond the depthless depravity of mortal beings. The corpse chamber and draining floor, no more than a gruesome dream that faded with the sunrise. The Countess, predictably, kept adjusting with the times and growing her fortune. After the Cabernet producing facility at the town hall was destroyed, she took a loss and had to pivot. However, when the doctor terminated their contract, she never ended up finding a decent replacement. It didn't take her too long to bounce back, though. More partners came forward soon enough, and eventually other business opportunities presented themselves. Some say the Countess is now running one of the biggest mafia networks in the country. It's only rumor, of course, but in all honesty, I would certainly not put something like that past her.
I could see it.
The infamous Savely Skortsov, the purportedly non-corrupt mayor of town, ended up being a ruthless sociopath. The fact that Gosha defused Ivan's bomb meant two things for him. One, that the building didn't crumble on top of his own head after the explosion, meaning that he survived the night. And two, that when I took the townsfolk to help free the prisoners, he was taken by surprise and captured. As one would imagine, given Savely's deeds, he spent the rest of his life behind bars. Perhaps his greatest legacy is that he became somewhat of a folklore figure. Mothers in this area often frighten their children by telling them that Bloody Savely will snatch them up if they don't behave. In contrast, the next mayor the town elected remained in his position for nearly a decade and was entirely inconsequential. During that whole time, he arguably did less to improve the town than Savely did in a few months. But, then again, he didn't organize brutal murders beneath town property.
Yeah, so that's
well, at least that we know of.
You gotta take the plus, I guess.
Victoria still works for the Countess. Say what you want about her, but she's a loyal one. It clearly didn't go unnoticed by Countess Orlova, and, albeit unofficially, Victoria is widely considered to be her number two. They say she leads the departments that are heavy on the dirty work, since the Countess trusts her. Rumors, of course, but rings true, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What can I say? There's never a dull night with Elisa. There aren't many who have the privilege of being friends with this mysterious creature, so I'm proud to be one of the lucky ones. How many vampires can say that they've seen the sunrise after being turned? I am yet to meet another but her. Only her unique blend of intelligence, passion, and a touch of madness could achieve such results. Her technique, however, brought about much more than just her famous sunrise paintings, which I must say are a huge hit among the vampiric community. I often use a version of it in my clinic for both vampire and human anesthetic purposes, and have helped introduce this practice throughout the vampiric medical community. When her vampiric visa in town expired, sadly, Elisa had to abandon her hookah bar. Such is the fate of most vampiric enterprises. However, people remembered it fondly years after its closure and told stories of legendary nights spent there. The tales grew with embellishments until no one knew what was true, like any good story eventually does. There were vampires who attempted to recreate Elisa's success by building their own such establishments, but no one was able to quite capture her same type of magic. Still, wherever she goes, she manages to start a new venture and turn it into something special. To selfishly put this all aside for a moment, I'm just so incredibly happy we're together. Who knew that I would fall for someone like her? But then again, there really isn't anyone quite like her, is there?
So I guess it's whoever you fall for first.
While I still lived in town, Arbin stayed here for as long as her vampiric visa allowed. We had our fair share of adventures together, and to this day remain close friends. When she finally left, for a while she tried to maintain her establishment from afar. But alas, literary salons went out of fashion, and eventually they built a regular housing project in its place. Arbin overcame her internal struggles about siring and ended up taking several fledglings under her wing. Unsurprisingly, each and every one of them is well and thriving. She often credits me for that, but really, she's always cared for the newly turned, just like the moment I first met her. Arbin eventually moved abroad, but still sends me a case of delicious red every year. What do you know? The store is still here.
If you're looking for champagne, vodka, or flowers, don't bother. They're all out.
Is that right?
Well, why else do you think I'm still open? All the demand and no other supply. That's good business.
Happy New Year's Eve.
Mm.
The bouquet over there, please.
Cutting it a bit late with the presents, aren't you? You'd better hurry home, or you'll miss the president's speech.
Thanks, but I don't think I'll be watching this year. Not my cup of tea.
What? Why not? Don't you care about your own country? See, that's the problem with your generation. You hold nothing sacred.
Oh, really? And what generation do you think that is?
Generation of spoiled brats. You've seen nothing, done nothing, and fought for nothing. You have all the freedom in the world, but no, you just complain and demand more. Show some respect and be grateful for once.
Are you finished? Listen, I'm not who you think I am, but I don't expect you to understand that. Mark my words, I've seen this happen to our country time and time again. At this point, I feel it in my bones, like how some with arthritis can feel rain coming.
What are you babbling about, girl?
Every time there was hope, a person like that man came to crush it. No one has found a way to break the cycle yet, so, of course, I've come to not expect much. All I'm asking is, think. Think and care about your fellow man. Then, make your own choices.
How much have you had to drink?
Enough for a lifetime. Trust me. Happy upcoming New Year.
Okay.
It's moments like these that I regret making.
Are you all right, dear? Hope you don't mind me asking. You look out of sorts.
Yes. Yes, I am. Thank you.
Do you have a place to go tonight? It's New Year's Eve, after all. No good being by yourself.
Thank you. I do have some old friends I'm visiting.
Oh, that's lovely. Just lovely. You know, I overheard what you were saying back there.
Did I get carried away?
Goodness, no. I would have said the exact same thing. I was just like you when I was younger. Didn't let anyone walk over me.
I'm not as young as I look.
Let's talk again in 50 years, dear. See who's right about this.
Sounds good.
That Chernov, though, he's trouble, isn't he?
Yeah.
Just as we managed to turn this rusty ship around, they're pulling the wheel again. Still, all this time, I never lost hope. Not once. And you shouldn't either, dear.
Thank you. I think I needed to hear that today. You know, you remind me of an old friend of mine.
Friends, of course. Sorry for keeping you, dear. Your friends are probably wondering where you are.
Don't worry, they're quite a patient bunch nowadays. Do you need any help carrying your bag?
Oh, no, bless you, dear. I live just around the corner.
Really? In the old apartment building?
That's the one. My great-aunt used to own it before the revolution, and I inherited it. I'm very lucky. It's apartment number 1. Stop by for a cup of tea sometime if you feel lonely. Have a wonderful year, dear.
Thank you. And you. Well, what do you know?
Let's go.
Locked. Can't blame them, really. I guess I'll just have to do it like in the good old days.
Yes.
To my relief, Demian was among the many lucky survivors who were rescued from the town hall dungeons. Perhaps even luckier, Demian never ended up on the lower levels of Savelli's underground prison. That left him relatively unscarred, and soon enough he seemed to be back to his old playful self. One thing did seem to change, though. After the events of that night, I certainly noticed him working in the fields much more often. It's hard to find a silver lining to what transpired, but I suppose scaring Demian into a working man may have been one of them. After the tragic night of the duel, Evgeny left town, never to return.
I think his wife killed him.
I was impressed by the thoroughness with which he erased all traces of his existence. Needless to say, he never published another book, at least under his real name. Some rumors say he drank himself to death, others that he left to start a new life in the West. Personally, I truly hope he found a way to forgive himself.
I'm just saying I found his dead body.
Gosha proved herself a true hero by disarming the bomb prior to the attack on Town Hall. Many assumed that after Ivan, their golden-throated leader, went to prison, the local revolutionary cause would fall apart. But, yet again, brave Gosha came to the rescue. She assembled what was left of the group and pivoted towards peaceful change. Ultimately, she turned it into a legitimate political party that existed for decades after her eventual passing. I still remember the years I spent in Gosha's organization fondly. She was selfless and passionate and cared deeply for each of her fellow citizens. During the years she led the movement, she helped steer the country away from many a tragedy, although, of course, plenty couldn't be avoided. After I told Roman the truth about myself, he immediately volunteered to become a vampire himself. He was beside himself with excitement to learn that so many of his beloved stories were true, and he wanted to be a part of that world as well. After all, his dream was to travel and learn about folklore and culture, and an eternity to do just that seemed perfect. I accompanied him on his expeditions a few times, but I couldn't travel as much due to my medical duties, so he often journeyed on his own. He managed to connect with all kinds of people and hear the legends of their homes and ancestors. It wasn't just for his pleasure either. He published several tomes on world folklore, which were translated to dozens of languages. He loved the people around him, and he shared that love in his favorite way, through his books and stories. I'm happy to report that Petya is still alive and well. He is, of course, still bound to Matilda's body, but at this point, I think even if someone offered him a different form, he'd turn it down. He may have never made it as a great salesman, but, in a way, the fact that he no longer interacted with customers in his new body only did him good. Petya opened a small doll boutique, and, it turns out, when someone else was selling his dolls, people absolutely loved them. He never took it personally, though. Petya was just happy that the dolls found good homes. Of course, to open a business, he needed a human for the paperwork, and who happened to step up but his old friend Elisa. She was the face of his company for quite some time, during which they became the best of pals again. Human or vampire, that's something I never imagined happening in a million years. But life is just full of surprises.
I don't know why it's doing that sound issue every so often.
I always feel a touch of melancholy when I think of how Marusa's life turned out. Don't get me wrong, she lived a long and full life, and was an exemplary worker and an excellent parent to a bunch of smart and stubborn children, just like herself. I may have meant well when I advised her to temper her expectations, but I always felt that the glow in her eyes got dimmer ever since. Marusa did choose her path herself, and by anyone's standards, she made the best of it, but I just can't help but think there was something more in store for her, and that I could have played a part. Trofim ended up working for the Countess for the rest of his life. He didn't drink much ever since our first encounter. Was it a happy life? Who's to say? Perhaps it's not just drinking that makes one miserable. I only knew Faina for a short time, but somehow the memory of her has never faded. She meant a lot to me. She still does. I took care of your flowers as best I could, for as long as they lasted. Rest in peace, dear Faina. I didn't know exactly what to expect when I told Gosha about the bomb, but she sure came through that fateful night. As I learned later, Yvonne devised a backup plan in case the bomb didn't end up being delivered. But what he didn't plan was on his right-hand woman deactivating the explosive before handing it over to him. When the townsfolk saw what happened and understood the scale of the tragedy that was barely avoided, Yvonne was swiftly thrown into jail. I didn't hear whether he was ever pardoned, but I do know for certain that he never returned to politics.
Last one.
Oleg and I never became close, but at least till I left town he kept running the shop and seemed to be doing fine. Although I'm sure he would have preferred to keep his hand. I always felt a sense of gratitude in him for sparing him. In retrospect, I think I'm glad I didn't end up taking a life for an old grudge, albeit a very heavy one. I wonder if the Rusalka is still out there somewhere. Did she ever forgive him?
So that should be all of them. At least the ones that I could interact with. So I'm out.
After the some person.
I guess I sit down, maybe?
I did what I came for. I suppose it's time to go home. Oh!
It's Nick.
Huh. Strange. Snakes usually brumate over the winter. Their metabolism slows down, they stop eating, and hide out underground till it's warmer. Nobody must have come here for ages. I bet I scared it out of its hiding spot. Slithering back to the shadows. How the mighty have fallen. Oof. The church sure has seen better days. What does the sign say?
Keep out. This building has been deemed dangerous to the snake infestation. Oh.
Condemned. Wait a minute. So, it's not technically a church anymore, and I don't need an invitation. Does that mean I can enter it? Wow. It's been over a century since I've been inside a church. I'd forgotten how it looks, what it smells like. I'd forgotten how much I missed it. How much I wanted to come in sometimes when I was scared and lost. Oh, damn it. The Morozov family. Minus me, of course. I remember how, even before I was allowed to touch matches, in church, Mother would let me light candles for people we knew. Even before I knew what it meant. It felt important. Why don't I light some candles now? I may not get another chance.
Alright.
There. It's not easy being an older sister, but being a younger brother must have also had its challenges. And Kolya. Poor Kolya. If only things worked out a little differently, maybe he would still be around.
I tried.
It was my fault. I miss him. Very much. Rest in peace, dear brother. People tend to only say good things about the dead, but we all knew Father was far from perfect. Slowly but surely, drinking turned him from a kind and loving person into a monster. And I know more than most what it means to be one. But some fairy tales do have a happy ending. He managed to quit drinking soon after that fateful summer. I couldn't have been more proud of him. I might be giving us too much credit, but I feel like Kolya and I might have had something to do with it. Mom stuck with him through the rough months. Uncle Mitko helped out with money before they got back on their feet, and from what I gathered, they both ended up rather happy. So glad I managed to get this new picture of them. Of course, according to higher society laws, we're never supposed to get in touch with family, but I bent the rules just a little. I got into some trouble, of course, but that's a whole other story. Rest in peace, dear mother and father. Funny thing, for over a century I've lived so many lives. Different names, cities, friends, and enemies. I've seen more people live and die than one can count, or care to remember. But even after all this time, I still think about my family. They never faded away. I could have done things differently, and every day I have to live with my choices and my mistakes. Some of them are heavy and bury themselves deep in my gut. From what I hear, every vampire receives a keepsake like that sooner or later. Maybe that's the true payment for eternal life. Or maybe it's a part of any life, really. I don't know if they ever fully go away. If I'm honest, I don't think so. But they remind me to do things differently, to be better. And when I do, sometimes I feel human again. Last candle left. I think I know what I'll light it for. I've seen people in this country go through so much suffering. Wars, revolutions, tyranny, famine. So much has happened, and yet so little has changed. Some people say this country is cursed, hopeless. I don't know if I believe that. I've seen fates crushed by a short sentence. I've seen lives saved by a simple embrace. No matter what they say, a person's choice can make a difference, so you might as well do your best. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll all make enough of the good ones. And for now, there is hope. Demons may be hereditary, but we are in charge of them.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year!
Thank you guys for joining me for this series. And I will see you guys for my next series. If there's a game you'd like to see me play, let me know. And don't forget I run another channel, Sinfully Pure, as well as my new long play channel, Cenobite Unicorn. I also have a lovely Kick where I stream every Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So come and join me for some live streaming fun. Okay, good. So with that, I'm gonna go relax, and I hope all of you do the same. Once this, credits. Alright, so that's it. Bye, guys!